Welcome to the Last Starship. This is early access at this point in time. I've got the early access version. There is also a demo version, or there was a demo version in Steam's Next Fest, so you may be able to pick up the demo if you can't. The alpha is basically the devs were kind enough to give me a copy of the game, so thank you for that. Very, very cool game, I've got to say. I'm really enjoying it. It looks very similar to Cosmoteer and Stardust. It looks like it looks like a third version of those, but there is a lot of differences the way that this one does actually work. This is by the same devs who did Prison Architect as an example, so it's got that same sort of feel to a degree, but it does play differently, so it's definitely worth having a look. It's not just another clone of one of those other types of games. So let's go in and start a new game. Now, in the demo version, you can only play with the Praxis, so let's just play with that one for now. This is best for new players. A small science vessel with all the necessary equipment for interstellar adventure. Now, what will happen is, I think that you can actually have like for example, much more complex style of starts. So a large and capable ship with plenty of room for upgrades, but all the equipment and supplies must be purchased before embarking. So you've got a lot of money. And so these other starts give you so much more scope. Starting this way, you really are pushed through a tutorial series, which is what we'll just start that process. We'll just do the first little bit, just so you get a bit of a feel for the actual game itself. So the Praxis will begin the game, and I'll rattle through this one. I do want to do a more in-depth run at some other time. I just wanted to do a one-off video, just show you what it is, and we'll just go from there. Now, the first thing that happens is we get like a whole lot of different crew come on board. So the crew is now here. Now I'm going to make it go slow. It's still going forward in time, but it is actually just slow. Now, sorry, I'm going to have to change the sound. There we are. So I'll just go into slow mode. That's also can be toggled with the spacebar. There's a few other little interesting things. I live streamed this actually earlier today, and I live streamed the demo and then actually got the key after that. So very, very responsive devs, I've got to say. And so this is our first mission, is to just get the ship ready. And so we've got a whole lot of different equipment back and through here. There's a whole lot of different modules that we need to go and build. So let's just go and get these set up. So we'll just go to construction. We're going to install. Now I'll just basically rapidly run through all of these. We need to have like a reactor. In fact, it tells us a reactor for generating power. We need a fuel loader to load in. Now it wants us to place it there, which is fine. And so the reactor will create like electricity essentially. Where is it? The fuel loader will create, and it just wants us to place it that one. This will then create fuel, and so it will not create fuel, it will distribute fuel. We've actually got fuel and things sitting back over through here. So it's it's an extreme slow-mo at the moment. They'll just go across and do that one. We now need to go and create a pipe, a fuel pipe. And so all we do is we drag it from this location out to there, across to there, and then drag it down into there. And so that will be where the pipes actually go. If we just go to installation, actually, is that doing it? Didn't actually do it. Maybe we've got to wait for these to be installed first. But I will actually, there's no collisions by the way in the game, but there is combat. So we now need, oh hang on, there it is. We did actually do the pipes. So let's just leave it back on slow mode and just go to the next thing. So test the engines from the tactical screen. So what we need to do is now add in engines. So we'll go and add those. We've got 2 engines, so we'll go and place one up and through here and one down in through this side. Where are we? Down. Okay, so this is the engine mounts, and we will just go back to normal speed again. I'm just trying to save because there is actually oxygen, there's water and food, and so if we let the game just run, it will then start to run through these materials as well. We've got 5 cabins of 32. I might give you a bit of a tour of the ship just while they're building this in slow mode. If we go across, we've got different overlays. Now, this is the jobs overlay that we're sort of looking at the moment. We've got a habitation deck, which is essentially above where we actually are at the moment. But it really is just where guests or whatever actually will go. We don't have to put in beds individually or anything like that complicated. It is just for it's the habitation area of the ship. Simple. We don't have to worry too much about it. The game is much simpler than Cosmoteer and those other sorts of games where you've got to then allocate beds and all sorts of different bits and pieces. This is much more bare bones, which I quite like. This is a simpler game to a large degree, from what I can sort of tell. We also have what the exterior looks like with the different windows looking across the HAB module. This is what our ship looks like. There's another ship that's just, oh, that's a big ship. Actually, it may be a base. So it is a base. Okay, we're just right next to the base. We'll test this as well. By the way, this is the way that weaponry looks like. So we've got weaponry sort of pointing at us from there, but that's a friendly base. We can go into the atmosphere as well, and we can see there's no oxygen. This will all be green if there's oxygen. And then the schematics as to what's actually being built and what's where. So we'll just go back to jobs again and have another look. In fact, even if I turn jobs off, it'll still be the defaults. Now this thing requires energy, so let's go, and we've got energy coming from the reactor. So we'll just go across to cables this time. In fact, if I just turn the overlays off, see, why is that doing that? It's not schematic that I want, it's not jobs that I want. It's not actually showing it anymore. It wasn't doing it this before. Anyway, that's okay. We'll just come back out. We'll go back down towards the base. Come back down into here. And we just have to then go and connect that one into there, and this one then goes up to that level and then across into there. And so the reactor is now giving certain megawatts of output. With what's happening in through that side, and we also need to get fuel in there as well. So we'll just go back and get the pipes from the fuel pipes and add them in. I can bring them into the same area, so why not? And that way we sort of keep these all together. And so we essentially design our ships, and we can now see that the engines are now coming up to speed. Let's just unpause. And so the first thing we have to do is test the engines from the tactical screen. Now, once we'll just wait for them. Yep, they're all online. We'll just go back to jobs. It's now sort of really has gone into that particular one. We go to tactical. Tactical is sort of like where we control the ships. Now, this gets fairly. It looks weird because we've got. It's actually you get a bit of motion sickness with this, unless you click this, and then the universe stays where it is, and it's just us that then moves around. So we're testing the engines. This looks fine. We can just throttle down, basically sort of have it just really sort of shut itself off. Come on. Here we are. Yes, there is friction in space, as it was pointed out today. Now, if we turn this one back on again, bang, we're back into this into this mode. We can then leave the tactical, and I don't know why we have got the overlays like this. It's like schematics have now locked themselves on. It's a bit annoying actually, because it does look better having the other bits and pieces. I don't know why it's done that. Oh, it's pipes. We had pipes on. Okay, that seemed to be the one that was okay, because we're in the pipes mode. It kept us sort of in there. Now the next thing we have to do. So we've done all of these. We've tested the engines on the tactical screen. Now we now have to get the life support working, and this is just going to be basically how we then create oxygen. And so if we have a bit of a look and see what actually goes on with this, if we go back into installation, we have an oxygen loader. And we also have an air duct, and we need both of these. So we need to load the oxygen in from these supplies, and then have them then feed into the actual oxygen loader. So let's go and do that. And again, at this stage, I'm not really worrying about too much where anything actually is. Let's just go and place this one near this particular one. This one was going to require just pure oxygen. So oxygen there, and then we'll do the air duct. Just underneath that one through there. This one requires, now I can actually rotate this one around, so let's go and do that one. Just so we end up with a bit of oxygen that's going to come across from there. I could actually put it right up against it, but I'll just leave it a little bit away from it. So they're now going to be built. We'll start to see the food and water go down soon enough, I would think. I'm assuming that they will. So the fuel is still going down even though we're not doing anything. Well, we are doing something. We're using this. Okay, so now we go back to pipes again, and now we have oxygen that has to come back across into there. So we've got like a different type of pipe. This is a fuel pipe, this is an oxygen pipe. And then what we'll see is if we go to the atmosphere, we'll see at the moment we've got, like there's no atmosphere there at all. Oh, we also need to have cables. There we are, get the power up. So the reactor has now got a bit more of a drain on it. And so now we're going to start to see oxygen start to fill up the room. So oxygen has been loaded in. It's going down, as you can see. And we're now starting to see oxygen, like we're getting low levels of oxygen. At this point in time, we're going to get to the point where this is going to become all green. If we go back up to the habitation deck, this should also ultimately, actually no, that's not going to show us, but it is going to have the same degree of oxygen from whatever's below it as well. And so as soon as the oxygen becomes safe, the crew are going to get out of their suits and just start to walk around. Nearly there, nearly there. Again, we'll just get rid of the cables. And there we are. Right, out you go. Get the suits off. So they've left all their suits there. Now let's just slow it down and just talk about a few of the other things. We also have storage areas. Now let's put a storage area for the suits. Actually, where is their suits? Space suits. Let's just make a storage area for space suits back over in here somewhere. Just click and drag. So I'll throw that, it's a spacesuit storage. They'll then go and place their spacesuits back into there. We can do other things like water or ice areas as well, mission cargoes as well. Like if we have an actual mission, why don't we sort of just create like a zone over here for that? We don't know what that's going to be. Logistics drone, no idea what that is. Different sort of precious metals and things. Let's leave all that off for now. Compost, wastewater, sewage, food, water. I mean, we can do things like that, for example, just get like a food supply back in through that side. Water supplies, why not? Let's go and throw that in as well. So we'll just go and get it so we end up with like a bit more of like a better sort of look to what we're actually doing. Now, the next thing we need to do, an FTL drive capable of hyperspace jumps. So we need to go and do that as well. Let's get rid of storage. We get rid of atmosphere at this point in time and just build an FTL drive. So FTL drives are going to be under installation because we've actually got one of these. So we'll just go across, and this is going to require, I think it's just power is all it actually requires. Let's just go and place it over here somewhere. So they'll go and build that. They're putting their spacesuits away. Oh, I really like the game. It's sort of simple but interesting. They're sorting out things. We can now start to sort of see what's going on with everything. Just pause that one. So we do need to actually get power into here. I think we just have to just put power anywhere into this. So let's just go across the cables and just drag it. Oh, hang on, there it is. It's just right there. Okay, and get rid of cables again. And so that will now start to come up. So FTL drive capable of hyperspace jumps, and then jump to the marked destination. And so now we can sort of go and actually start to jump around in hyperspace. So if we just sort of zoom out a little bit in through here, I'll just go back to slow mode again. Again, we've now locked this in, so if we do go and start to maneuver, it's going to be the galaxy that moves around us rather than us moving around in the galaxy. So we go across to, we've got all sorts of different things in through here as well. You've got like an editor for designing your ship, which we won't be using in this particular one, but this is pretty cool as well. We can sort of put in different hulls, floor, walls, etc. You don't put what's in the inside there. Box tool, I don't know what that is. You've got trade. This is fairly cool as well. So we can trade. We've got 50,000 cash. Now, there's different things we can get. So, for example, we can get like different sorts of reactors, batteries, tanks, etc., propulsion, like the engines, the fuel loaders, different things. If we do want to sort of get more bits and pieces, like we can't afford another engine. Habitation, back in through here. So we've got like the oxygen loaders, the air ducts, spacesuit pods, CO2 scrubber. Things like this would be fairly useful. This is how many are actually at the space station for sale. We've got sewage pipe, waste treatment machine for 33,000. So these sorts of things, eventually we're going to end up with like a lot of sewage. I don't know if we can see it there at this point. No, we're not seeing it there. We've got 7 FTLs that we can actually do as well. Stack of 100 food, for example, we can buy that one in, buy more spacesuits. Defense, we can get like different cannons, like Gatling guns, rail guns or cannons, and get the bullets, railgun slugs or cannon shells as well. And these again will cost us a little bit, so let's leave that one off for now. Industry, again, mining lasers, drone bays and smelters. So eventually, depending on what missions we have, we can then go and buy this sort of equipment. And you can see there that some of these are cheaper than what they would normally be. It's a little bit cheaper to buy it here, 16%. So we can sort of see what the rates really are when we go to different places. Logistics, back in through this side. Resources with oxygen, like a stack of 1,000 oxygen if we wanted to sort of get more oxygen. The crews, we can actually buy a cruise in with their spacesuits, and then having all the items in through there as well. But let's not do that. We only have 50,000, so we'll do one mission to actually then go and get some. Get like a little bit of extra sort of stuff. Now, if we go across, that was trade. The next one is contracts, and so we've accepted destroy all hostile forces has been accepted, but we don't have any offensive firepower, so no point doing that one until we actually deck out the ship with some guns. And I did do that. Didn't actually go into combat, but I did actually do that when I was just testing the game, and it's pretty good the way it does work. You end up basically putting the guns, mainly broadside, I would sort of think would be the way to do it, maybe facing the front as well, but you can go broadside and then you just maneuver your ship around trying to then get the broadside to then fire on the enemy ship. It is fairly good, I've got to say. I do like it. Power, again, simple. It's fairly simple. This is the power grid, just explaining what's what with the amount of power that's being used. So the reactor's certainly under a bit of threat through here. Now FTL is where it's ready. The drive is ready, but we've got no destination, and we choose our destination from the sector map. Now this is always random, which is fantastic. So we end up with like a random area. Now some things are going to be inside the zone of the actual sun. Like that destination there would be dangerous for us because it is too dangerous for us. Now this is actually where we need to go, and so I just left click on that one. We've now got a destination for our FTL. This takes us off sector to another sector in space, and so with that one selected, I'll just zoom out so we can sort of have a bit of a look at this one. And so we'll just go across to the FTL drive. We now actually have the destination. We'll prepare the jump. I'll just unpause the game. And we're now going to be spinning around again in space until we actually line up with the actual destination that we need to be going into. And so we're ready, and so we can now do the jump. Off we go, interstellar travel, and bang, in we come at the new location. So if we go back to the sector map, we are now down in here. We've got sector contacts. There's hostiles up in through there, so we don't need to worry about those. When we come in, we've now got a few different things. This is also random, so we don't know exactly what's going to be happening. So we've got like our science vessel. We've got the Starbase Icarus back over through here. We've got a trade ship back over this side. We have a trade ship over through here as well. And we've got an evacuation ship in through this side. But you'll get different things. Now, sometimes these will be for sale. Sometimes they won't be. But initially, we just have to sort of come back into this one. So we've actually now done this particular mission has been completed. Now we've got a few different other things we can now go and do. Like we've got a special mission, analyze an anomaly. They will then give us some equipment to load into the ship. We then load the ship in and go and do the mission. What do we get for that one? I'm not sure what we end up doing with that one now. Accept and assign to the science vessel. I don't think I'll worry about that one. We've got a special mission of evacuation. Again, I'm looking for money. We've got the Nomad special mission. Nothing in through there. Destroy all hostile forces we've already got. Now rescue civilians from a wrecked ship. Now see how it's not actually, we can't do this one. So contact requires equipment. We need a thruster to be able to do this one. So rescue civilians from wrecked ship. The ship has become stranded with engine troubles and the crew needs an immediate rescue. So these are random every time you play it as well. The damaged ship is nearby is nearby in System 7. Hurry. There are 27 crew on board that must be dropped off safely somewhere nearby. The mission has been assigned a difficulty rating of 1 and the payment is 81,000. So more than double what we've actually got, more than what the equivalent of what we've got already in our coffers. But we can't accept it because we don't actually have a thruster. We've got an urgent passenger mission in through here for 31,000, and so this one requires a group of 12 civilians are looking for a safe transit. Their destination is in this sector, which is good. Drop them off at Star System 2, which is so that's inside where we currently are. Your ship will need enough free cabins on your habitation deck. Now, at the moment, we've got 5 of 32, so we've got heaps. So we can definitely take 12 civilians along into here. Your ship will need enough free cabins in through there. Yep, the mission has been assigned a difficulty level rating of 1. Payment will be 31,000. The client is offering 29% more money than usual. So this is good, and we've got everything we needed. So the contract requires 12 free cabins. We'll accept and assign to the science vessel. So we've now taken that mission on board. We also have a courier mission, and so 15 boxes of supplies that need delivering. In this sector at Star System 9. So we'll accept that as well. Let's do both of those. So what will then happen is that if we just go back and turn the contracts down, the people have now come on board. I'll just slow things down. These are the new people. Actually, have they come in? Not sure what that was that came in. Oh, this is mission cargo. Sorry, that was the cargo that came in. Let's have a quick look and see. We've got 12 passengers. Have they all come on board? I should have paused this when we came into this new system. If you have a look at the habitation deck, yeah, they're already all in here, just hovering around, doing nothing much. So we're now up to 17. We're using sewage now. We're going to be going through water and food. So let's go back to the bottom of the ship where we sort of do most of what we do. So they're bringing all this cargo across very, very slowly. We'll go to the sector map. So we need to go to urgent request in through here. It has to be to, so they're now on board. Where was it? This was Star System 2. Let's get rid of the people first, because this was urgent. Not that I don't think there's any time restraints as such. And so we have the transport passengers, although this is on the way. Let's go and do this one. So we'll just go across. We've now got the dotted line moving up that way. And we've used up one of our FTLs. So we'll just go across and FTL to it. Prepare the jump. Just unpause. So the ship will now rotate around. It's charging. Power has been cut. We've got too much stuff going on. Too many power drains. It'll eventually catch up with itself. Now we've got not quite enough space there for the mission cargo. We might have to make a bigger cargo area. Mission cargo. Here we are. We've now got the power. Go back to FTL. So the FTL drives are now charging. We've got 6 left. So we'll jump into this one. Off we go. So we're now jumping through doing the hyperspace. It's certainly a lot simpler than Cosmoteer and Stardaeus, just with the way it does actually play. And so now we have cargo has been supplied, good luck. And so we now have to deliver it. So we just go back across, click on deliver, click on contracts, and we'll then see that there'll be another ship that will come. It will then dock, and we'll then go and everyone will then just take the cargo, bring it all back in, and then we'll get our money, and then off we go again. I'll just show you a trade once we get a bit of money, and then we can sort of close it up here. But this will just give you a bit of a feel for what the game is actually like, which, as I say, I do like it a lot. I like the simplicity of it. I like where it can go in the future as well. Like it's really, really nice. So our 5 workers are just going to do what they have to do. I don't know if they'll ever animate the actual characters any better than what this is. So it's functional for me. So that's now, contract is now complete. We delivered those items. So if we go back into the contracts, I'll just pause this one again. And so that one now is completed. And so we should have extra money in here now. Actually, where are we? Yeah, 65,000. Good stuff. Okay, we can actually, while we're here, if we wanted to. So our logistics went up a little bit as well there, which is fine. So we're just getting a little bit of extra, I guess, experience as we sort of do these sort of missions. Now we've got a starbase again, a couple of trade ships and an evacuation ship at this location as well. We can actually just go back into trade and just see if there's anything that's actually worth picking up that's going to be fairly cheap. We've got propulsion. Wouldn't mind actually grabbing something in through here. This one's cheap at 23% less. 38,000 and we've got 65,000. Let's grab a cannon. So we'll go and buy that one. There's only one of them there, and then there's cannon shells in through here. These are a bit expensive though, but they're fairly cheap. Let's just get one or maybe two groups of those. And so we're just going to confirm the sale. So we're going to now buy that with our hard-earned. We're down to 26,000 or 26,870. And so now we just wait for the delivery of those different things. And then I'll just quickly go and build where the cannon is. We might actually point the cannon out the front, and so we've got like a front-facing cannon. And so they're now just going to not do anything with that one. I'll just go back to slow mode again for a second. Just go back into construction, installation, and we now have the cannon. And so the cannon, if we sort of try to hover it over somewhere, it's going to be then pointing out to the front. It's a bit hard to see that there, but there's actually, I can sort of place it there or there, basically anywhere along that front. Let's just put it off to the side so I can bring something else into there. So it will try to find like the best spot, like that's where it would be then facing off to the side as a broadside. This will be down the bottom through here as well, but this is where we want to have it over through here. So just literally right up into that corner there. So we'll go and place that one through there, and we'll also then just go and place the cannon shells back in through here. So we'll just go to storage, cannon shells, and we'll just do like a small storage area through there. We don't need much in through that way, I don't think. And so that then gets our storage done. We'll just unpause. Now, I don't know if we can actually do what we have to do while this is actually being installed. We may have to power this up as well. I'm not sure about that. If that's the case, we just need to sort of extend our power grids across. Yep, it does require it. So let's go to the cables and bring that one forward. Okay, so that ultimately will then sort of, you can see there that the turrets are just sort of off to the front there. So this is now getting geared up. So we've now got a bit of offensive capabilities. All right, let's go back away from cables. So that's our cannon now, sort of showing where that actually is, which looks great. Let's go back to the sector map. We need to go to our passengers now. So we've done this little diversion. Get out of there, and we will. I'll just go back to FTL. We'll prepare the jump. And so again, we're probably going to run out of energy for a little while through here. We will have to get more energy. Yep, jump, away we go, and off we go. So we're now starting to sort of get like a bit more power in what we actually have. Now we've got, there's a whole lot of ships in here for sale at this particular location. Not that we can afford to get any of them, but there are some for sale. And so if we go and have a look, we've got the contracts. We just need to deliver the passengers. So we just do that one, and just press escape. And so then they're going to come, and they're going to come out of the hatch, so out of the ladder, and leave the ship. And then we get paid again for that one. And so we're getting money as these actually come off the ship. Contract completed, that's great. So that's all done. Our payment has just come in. Humanitarian rating is going up as well. We're still at rank 0, but we are getting more and more because we're helping people. And so each mission is going to do something a bit different. Let's go and just finalize this. We might as well actually just do a bit of combat. I haven't actually done combat before, so that'll be fun. We'll sort of see how we go. Actually, we've only got like a couple of shells in through there. Some have been loaded, and some of them are actually sitting back in through this side. So we're sort of ready to go. Let's go and just go and do the sector map. The hostiles are right next to us. Let's go after them. I don't know how dangerous this is going to be. Hopefully we get blown up. Just as a way of finishing this off. FTL, prepare the jump. Around we go, no more missions. So we're now lined up. And I'll now jump. Now, I wish I can slow it down. I might just, when we come in, I'll just go into super slow mode, and then we'll just sort of see what we have to do. So we've got a hostile ship. It's only one enemy ship. Now we're going to go to tactical now, because all we have to do is just line it up. We don't have to do much else. There it is, down that way. So let's just go across to slow, half speed. Now, this is where the what might be easier is to turn this off. That way we're just playing with our ship. I love this. It's such like the old Asteroids game that I grew up with. I have very fond memories of playing Asteroid. Now we've got a ship there. We're coming in behind it. There's a hostile fighter launch. We may have fighters, in which case we're not really prepared for them. It's coming behind it. This is a fair distance away. Not sure what our range is of our cannon. There we go, get the full throttle now. Actually just right clicked, that got the throttle going. Just go to half speed. Power cut, fuel supply interrupted. Okay, so we've got, again, this is going to happen a bit while we're doing all this. We're going to have trouble. Now I don't know what the limit of this actually is. Low fuel. This could be disastrous. Fuel supply interrupted. Not travelling very fast at all with what we actually have. Now we should have more power coming in. Here we go. Velocity's now picking up. Yes, we haven't really optimized our ship. We're just limping into battle. Let's go normal speed. Here we go, come on. I'm not sure what the range is for firing with the cannon. I should just leave it on fire. Actually, I don't know if that's going to just fire when it needs to. Oh, it's low power. Just bring the throttle down a little bit. If we go a bit slower. They're launching fighters. Now we're in trouble with those because we've got no way to stop them. So we're taking damage. And we've got no way to stop these. So we're in a lot of trouble here. Damage. Okay, we're taking damage. Come on, fire, fire, fire. Now if we go out of tactical, we can start to see the actual combat, heavy damage now. I think we'll just, like, we can't do anything, we don't have enough power. So I've completely underplayed this. Let's just watch our ship burn up. Here we go. Getting hull breaches. Oh, there we go. Bang, gone. I love it, I love it. Okay, so that's the end of that one. Derelict science vessel. Is all we actually had through there. So I'm guessing that's the end of our game. Thanks for watching, guys. What have we got? We've just got all sorts of junk in space. Debris, where's the people? Oh, there we are. He's not doing too well. Not doing too well at all. And there we have it. There we have it. The end of our crew. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. This looks like a very, very fun game. I'm looking forward to really getting into this in a big way. This is just a one-off video, just sort of showing what it is. It's on its way. It's looking like a fun game coming in 2023. I'll catch you next time.